Hello everybody, my name is Kelsey and this is my YouTube channel where I like to talk about a lot of things, mostly knitting, crochet, and other craft activities. Today we are mostly going to be focusing on knitting because I have finished my last crochet project. At some point I'll get around to filming a finished object video. No promises on when that's going to be because you would think I'd like to show off my finished objects, but instead I mostly just love to put them in a box and forget about them. So with that being said, today is another episode of a series on my channel called WIP Roundup. This is a series that I film at the beginning / end of the month, where I discuss all the WIPs I have left over from the previous month and what we're starting the new month with on the needles. This is sort of to give myself, to assess what I've got going on, and with Christmas looming over us, it's good to have some time, like it's good to take some time to manage our time and our expectations and sort of see what we have currently working on and assess what we can finish by when, and what we have to do to get something finished by the date I have assigned myself. So, without further ado, let's get into the meat of the video. Actually, I lied. So, before we get into the meat of the video, I want to make a quick a memorandum section for the WIP that I will never be able to finish because some rat bastard broke into my car and stole my knitting bag. So my September month of the Colorwork Cuff Club socks were turning out beautifully. Probably the best pair of socks I've made yet. And some jackass stole them from me. So if you're watching this, jackass, just know I've hired an Etsy witch, and if you're having bad luck, it was me. I did that to you. Give me my knitting bag back. I just want to memorialize this WIP because I was so proud of it, and I'll never finish it. However is a synonym to but, and that's still not what I meant. Basically, I have decided I want to do one of the socks for the Colorwork Cuff Club for every month this year, which I've now been set back because, again, this degenerate hooligan stole my knitting bag. So my September socks are stolen. They're gone. So we are now 2 months behind on sock schedule. So we are going to have to cast on a September sock at some point and restart that, and I already know what yarn I'm gonna do, but that is a 2026 plan. That's not happening. That's not happening until after Christmas. Okay, so let's transition from my socks that will never be into the socks I cast on to force myself into recovery for the tragic loss. So in my last video, my summer plans video, I showed you the yarn that I am using for these socks. And I told you guys I was going to be casting on the Harriet socks. However, I changed my mind. I did the cable cuff, the cable cuff on my other pair of socks, and decided I didn't want to be doing a cable all the way down the foot. I thought that would just be too exhausting, which does not bode well. I have a lot of cable hats I'm planning on this Christmas, and a cable sweater I really, really want. So if I don't like cables, I have signed myself up for a lot of misery. So thoughts and prayers. But this yarn is the Sinful Yarns All Too Well color, and I have decided to use this yarn to make the October Colorwork Cuff Club socks. I am a little nervous about how these will turn out, but at the end of the day they will go on my feet and probably will not be visible except for the top, so it won't matter that much anyway, because there is, like, this is a variegated yarn. Like, there is a little bit of striping that you can see in it. So there is like a concern that with the lace pattern that is on the October Colorwork socks, it'll just look weird, but I decided that the sock is dark enough and that I didn't care that much, so I'm just gonna give it a shot and we will see. So that is our first WIP for the month of November. The second WIP, and the WIP that I am currently most focused in on, is my King Salmon sweater. I've stopped in the middle of the round, but I'm gonna disregard that. This is a pattern by Caitlin Hunter, and I am so behind schedule on this thing, it's not even funny, and I am so stressed out about how I will feasibly be able to finish this by my goal of Thanksgiving, because that's when I want to wear it by, which means I have to get it finished a couple days before Thanksgiving so I can block it. And then also my original goal was to do this for the Fish Girl Fall Make Along, and I don't know how that's going to work out because it is November 5th and I am 18 rows into the color work. So this is an area where we probably need thoughts and prayers. I'm making this pattern out of Wool Dreamers Moda. The purple color is the colorway 605, and then the contrast color is a Junction Fiberworks Making Tracks DK in Winter Berry. This is knitted. This is technically a worsted weight pattern. However, I have made stuff out of Moda before, and I figured I could very easily use it in a DK pattern or in a worsted pattern, even if it is technically DK. And I do believe I have successfully done that. What I did actually is up a needle size from the pattern just to match gauge on my swatch. And we are working our way through. So the moment I'm done filming this video, I will be back on the grind to get this shit out of the way. So that is probably the one that I'm most anxious about. Second most anxious. The next project I have on the needles is the Cozy Classic Raglan by Jessie Made Designs. I'm working on this with my friend Heidi, and we are meeting up every Sunday to knit these together because we bought the same yarn at Great Basin Fiber Arts Fair, and we decided to just make matching sweaters. Mine is a little different because I decided to get the DK base in the same colorway as the boucle. Both of these yarn are from Sego Fibers. The boucle is the Burrow boucle base, and then this is just their standard merino DK base. Both of these are in the colorway Tea and Toast, and it is turning out very cute. We did the gauge swatch and both of us could not meet gauge with the boucle. So I am knitting multiple sizes down. I typically would knit a 3X or a 4X, and I'm knitting a 1X on this sweater because our gauge swatches were like an inch and a half off. So I don't really want my sweater to have a lot of positive ease, so I've convinced myself it is impossible for me to make a sweater that is too small because it's never happened before. I've always made my sweaters too big, so I am trusting the process and going with a small size, even if it feels antithetical to who I am as a person. This one I'm basically only working on during our summer meetups, so it's going to take a bit of time, but once she is finished, this will be my primary focus because this is going to be my Christmas sweater. So we'll need to step our pace up immediately after the fish sweater is done because deadlines, babe, deadlines. Okay, so let's talk about a thing that technically has a deadline, but is the one that is not stressing me out. And that is the hood I am working on for the Laura Nelkin Into the Hoods cowl. This is my current progress. Oh, I dropped a stitch. Whoopsies. Yeah, so this is knit using Super Glow Fibers Halloween yarn from 2 years ago. No, from last year. And this is the Spooky Brat collection. I am currently on Clue 2, so there you go. That's the progress we have on it right now. yeah, I'm not sure I love how this yarn is looking in this pattern, but I have decided that I'm going to trust the process on it and give it a fair shot. So that is this project. I don't have much to say about it. Like I said, I'm mostly, like, I'm a third of the way through clue 2, and then once we get to clue 3, I have 2 weeks to finish clue 3. So I'm not stressed out about this one, thank goodness. Then for our last WIP. We have a Halloween present. Good God, guys. Can you tell I'm sweating my fucking ass off in this alpaca sweater and in my little beret? I am dying, girlies. I can't breathe. I can't think. I'm trying my best. So this is a Christmas present for my friend Laura. I'm also planning on making this same hat for myself. But this hat looks teeny tiny right now, but I'm sure it'll stretch out. This hat is the Grow hat by Fiber Tales. Currently, I am working on the ribbing, so there's not much to see on it. But I brought this with me to Arkansas, and I cast it on there, and then I have knit like 1.5 inches of ribbing, and that's where we stand right now, ladies and gentlemen. Once something happens, I will put more effort into this, but right now there's just no motivation. Like, I mean, we'll probably circle back to that next week, but right now I gotta at least finish this fucking color work. That's what we have as WIPs during the start of this month, so hopefully most of these will get cleared off of the plate moving into December, because I don't know what I'm gonna do if that doesn't happen. But if you were wondering what I'm wearing the Biz Beret by Sari Nordlund, made out of Junction Fiberworks Making Tracks in the colorway Pink Pony Club. And then this sweater is a test knit I did for May Crochets. This is the Sweetheart Raglan. It is a made to measure pattern, and I crocheted this out of Drops Air. So hopefully that was a burning question for you throughout the course of this video. Regardless, thank you for watching to this point. If you have any questions or concerns, go ahead and leave me a comment in the description down below. If you were wondering about anything, yeah, you can also comment. Please subscribe too, that would be nice. Like this video if you liked it. Otherwise, I hope I will see you again here someday in the future. I will endeavor to try my best to come back and be there for you when you do. All right, bye-bye.